Welcome to Aussie E-commerce Mum, a diary-style podcast for those of you starting out or running a product-based business. E-commerce is growing and more entrepreneurs are dipping their toes into making money online. In my podcast, you'll learn and be inspired by my experiences with running 2 Shopify websites that I started in 2020, because the e-commerce world is very different from running a digital or service-based business. On this journal-style podcast, I share my day-to-day trials and triumphs as they unfold in real time. Because let's face it, navigating the e-commerce world feels less daunting when we share our hurdles with someone else. Join me as I share from my kitchen table in Adelaide, Australia. Brought to you by one of my online stores, theturtlejournal.com.au. Hey, welcome to Aussie E-commerce Mum. My name is Rachel and this is episode number 41. I want to talk to you today all about social media and content creation, and really just I'm hoping some of these tips and tricks and what I do might help with some of the overwhelm. Social media is like, it's a love-hate relationship. That's honestly how I feel about social media. It's something you kind of have to do. At the same time, I love to do it because that's where my advertising comes from, and I find all the content that I want to use in advertising my 2 businesses. So I love it for that side of it, but I also hate it because it's such a drain. It can be really overwhelming, and I'm sure you are listening and probably feel the same way about social media. Some people love social media, like influencers, for instance. It really is all about them and their life, and they probably really love it. It's energizing for them. Maybe that's because they're real people as well. They're really energetic and bubbly and outgoing. And anyway, it's just not for me. I'm just not wired that way. So it's something we need to do, and I think I'm pretty good at it. I think my advertising skills speak for themselves. My revenue, conversion rate on social media, my reach, my click-through rates, all those things are great. My metrics are really good. I know they're fantastic as far as industry standards for e-commerce go, but at the same time, it can be exhausting. Hey, like constantly coming up with what to post, but then finding the time to do it and the energy to do it as well. So I just want to share with you a few things that I do and some of the things I've done recently, and I hope this is an encouragement for you, maybe in your own struggles or your own finding the time and the energy and the inspiration for your own social media, and maybe think about why you're doing it, and if you think it's worthwhile to continue doing it. Do you do just organic socials? Do you do paid socials or just paid? Do you do a bit of both? What platforms you want? All that sort of stuff. So this is going to be a fairly lengthy episode, I think, from all the notes I have, but I'm hoping on the whole it just gives you a bit of an oomph and a bit of a plethora of ideas and some encouragement that you're not alone. Most of us in e-commerce struggle with social media. There's courses all about it. It can be such a drain. It can be such a burden for us because we know that's where we need to be. That's where our customers are. So you know what? Before you go ahead and pay for a course, listen to this episode. Find yourself some more podcast episodes about social media as well, and see if you can get some ideas from there that will give you a bit of a springboard before you sort of go into buying a whole course around social media and creating calendars and things like that, particularly if you end up creating tools you just can't keep up with. Like, unless you're prepared to spend money on someone to do the social media for you, which FYI, that is kind of looming on my list of things I really would like to do, then I don't know how much the extra tools and things really can help you, when at the end of the day, it really does come down to the time you need to find to do this sort of thing. And seeing the benefit for yourself in your own business, that will give you the validation that it's worth continuing with, because you can see the needle moving in the direction you want it to with your metrics and your sales and your audience. So this is some of the stuff I do for my social media, and it helps me reduce overwhelm, for sure it does. And it also helps me get some time off, because I can be ahead with social media, so I can bank time off to think, okay, I've scheduled social media every day for the next month. That's it. I'm not going to put anything down on social media. I'm just going to collect content here, there and everywhere that I do in my day-to-day business, and I'll collect bits and pieces, and then I'll sit down and do another bunch of content scheduling and editing again in 3 weeks maybe. So in that sense, it can be very freeing just to be able to remove yourself from the constant need or the constant pull to feeling like you have to post. Is to do a lot in advance, and then you can feel like you can kind of remove yourself a bit. At the same time though, it's your business. Like, just don't post for a month. Like, big deal, honestly. Like, there are other ways we can grow. And if you're growing sustainably or if you're growing smartly, then you might find, like me, a huge percentage of your sales comes through email. Like, email's far more important. If I was to spend half a day on something that was going to move the needle in my business revenue wise, social media wouldn't be it. I would spend half a day scheduling out emails twice a week for the next month, knowing that was a far larger percentage of my revenue than social media is. Having said all that though, let me tell you some things I have done recently. This is just a couple of, I don't know, little cute ideas to help you think outside the box, maybe if you're not quite sure where to go or what to do next. So I asked ChatGTP with some ideas. One thing I was curious to do was some new color swatches. So one of my websites with crafting, I wanted some new color combos because I feel like I always go to the same color combos when I'm creating things. And I thought, I need some new color combinations. What could I create? I don't know. I'll ask ChatGTP. So I just asked ChatGTP for some color swatch combinations, and it spat out 5 cool combinations of colors. You know, like, it gave me some funky colors too, not just like green and blue together. But one of them was baby blue and canary yellow, which I thought was super cute. So they were very specific. Another one, which was really cool, was, I'm going to think off my head now, olive green and lavender purple. So they were really specific color combos. So then what I did was I went to Canva and I created some tiles, and I found some of those color swatches. You know, like, I looked for some images to put on my tiles that were kind of those colors so that I could put the colors side by side on the tile. And then I did a feature of those on social media. I scheduled one of those every Friday night for 5 weeks with a caption saying, hey, you're looking for some new color combos. If you're in a bit of a color rut, here are some new combinations, and here's combination 1, and then the next week combination 2. Now that was a lot of work. If you're going to do social media, that wasn't an everyday type social media. That was a bit of a project. That took me quite a few hours to create those 5 color swatches and those 5 posts. So you can bet your bottom dollar I was getting my money's worth from having spent that time. So I then went back to those scheduled posts that I had spread out over 5 weeks. I duplicated every one of them and rescheduled every one of them in advance again. So the whole series was going to appear twice on social media over 3 months, like as far out as it would let me schedule on Facebook and Instagram. I don't know much about TikTok or YouTube. I use them, but I haven't got a scheduling platform that covers all of them. I have thought about it, but I haven't invested the money in it. So this is just Facebook and Instagram. So there's an idea, is to ask ChatGPT for some cool ideas, give it a little prompt of what you're looking for, and then expand on it and see where your imagination takes you, and see what cool things you can create out of that. And then with those 5 posts, I then also put them inside my Facebook group and asked everyone in my Facebook group to rate their favorite one. Said, hey, check out these color swatches. What's your favorite? So I used it again there. I also did a blog post of the same and detailed these 5 color swatches on the blog post. And I did an email. So I did an email as well to my newsletter list. Said, hey, these are some new color swatches. What do you think? And then I copied that email and I sent it again the following day. So to people who didn't open it the first time with a different subject heading. So you can see I used this one idea and I fleshed it out, and I had stacks of content. I ended up with it on social media twice. So it was effectively 10 posts in the end for this work I did. 10 posts, 2 emails, 1 blog post. I think that's it. On a Facebook group post as well. So I have used that little idea a lot to try and get my time's worth out of it for the time it took me to create it. Another thing I did with my other website was I asked ChatGTP for some beginner tips. You know, like if you're a crafter, whatever craft niche you're in or whatever niche you're in, ask ChatGTP for some beginner tips. What's your top 10 beginner tips? Because sometimes if we've been in an industry or a niche for a long time, it can be very hard to wind our brain back and think about, how on earth would I start this if I was a beginner? Like, what questions do beginners have? Where do I go from the beginning? And just see what ideas you get and little prompts that will help you flesh out some beginner tips of your own, and do the same thing. I split them up over 10 days on my other website, same with 10 beginner tips. I used a generic photo. I didn't create anything in Canva for this one. This series, I literally just used a few different photos of old content that I've got of myself, of the work I've created, of some products. It didn't really matter. The photo was just a nice photo. And then the caption was different every time, with the same sort of templated caption with a cute couple of emojis. And then it was like beginner tip 1, beginner tip 2, beginner tip 3, all the way up to 10. So again, it got me 10 days out of that, and I could have gone back. I should go back and reschedule all of those. I didn't that time. I could reschedule all of those again now, because that series ran in like March, I reckon. And our audiences are different. This is the thing with social media. You just need to like pump it out crazy. Like, your audience changes over time. People drop off, people join. The percentage of your followers that actually see your social media posts is so small anyway, your organic posts, that is, that it's no big deal. Like, post the same thing again in another month. Your different people will see it, do it at a different time of day. No one is going to blink or think two things of it when they see the same post again, because they're probably not even going to realize it's the same post again. So that's what I would suggest doing for sure. And you'll feel so much better about the work you put in when creating any sort of content if you just immediately duplicate it and put a new date on it. If you scheduled it in the morning, duplicate it, schedule it for 6 weeks time at night. Duplicate it, schedule it again for 6 weeks again, in the evening again, or in the middle of the day. Like, it honestly doesn't matter. Change the copy if you want to, but just use it again and again. Then you'll find it really does start to accumulate. That's how I've ended up with being a month in advance on one of my websites, because I can see that after the last 3 months I've probably done this, where I have every post I have put on scheduled, I have duplicated it, and I've changed the copy or changed the image if I needed to, but it takes seconds to do it when you're already in that mindset. You might as well just duplicate it and put it out again. So change what you need to, but it'll take you seconds to do, as opposed to finding the energy to start from scratch, to think, oh, I need to do social media, and to sit down and do that bulk of work. You really do feel like you are getting the best value for your time by like duplicating, rescheduling. It's just organic social, guys. Like, honestly, it's not worth the stress. It's just social media. The best part about this, duplicating and reposting and feeling like you are actually getting ahead because you're super planned out. And then I can look and see, wow, in July, I have a whole week of 2 posts every day scheduled. I could literally leave that week alone and not think anything of it. Is that it becomes a testing ground. I'm a firm believer, and I will do episodes about it often, that you need to be paying to boost your posts. You need to be paying to advertise on Facebook and Instagram to reach your audience. They are there somewhere. Whatever platforms you are on with social media, you need to be paying to push your content out there for people to find your brand. This is the best way of testing that, to find what content resonates with your audience the best, that will validate for you what's worth putting money behind. I have at the moment 2 posts from each of my websites running that I have put money behind. One of them is boosted, and then the other one I have actually put inside an ads manager campaign with different objectives. But I have pulled 2 organic posts that I have looked in my insights for the last 90 days, and I decided from those insights what was doing the best when I look at the reach and the interactions, like the comments and the likes and the shares. And that's what I decided was worth putting some money behind. So think about social media in that way too. It doesn't just become then all about sucking the life out of you. It's actually a tool that you're using to determine what resonates with your audience. And when you think about it that way, I honestly feel like that takes away a lot of the stress and the overwhelm of feeling like you constantly need to serve your customers. Is you look back at it as a business owner and think, hang on a minute, what do my customers want to see from me? Let's put out lots of organic socials for a month and see what resonates the most. And then you decide as a business owner, that's worth me spending money on now. That's validated that particular type of content enough that I think, okay, I'll spend $20 on it and do boost it with some link clicks, or boost it and get some engagement, boost it and get some likes or some comments or shares or whatever you want to do. Boost it and get some people to your website. Pull the post completely. Rewrite the copy so you've got a call to action to your website if you didn't the first time. Use the same graphic or the same video, maybe change the copy a little bit, and run a proper ad inside Ads Manager, And then over a month, you may end up spending hundreds of dollars on this content, feeling far more confident. You're not taking a stab in the dark. You know your customers already like this sort of thing. And you may even find you get sales out of it, and it's something you could run with for months. I love that about organic social. To me, that helps me feel like organic social is worthwhile. It's a testing ground. It's a seed bed. It's a try. It's an experiment. I'm using it to see what resonates with my audience so I can make an informed decision about where I'm spending my money on advertising. So also, organic social actually does build your audience. It helps build your warm audience too. So if you're using ads on Facebook and Instagram, particularly if you're retargeting ads as well to like middle of the funnel type customers who've seen your brand, interacted with your brand, visited your page, liked or commented or shared, watched a video, then your organic social, of course, is all part of that audience. So the more organic social you can do, it just makes that pool of people bigger, and then your ads have more people to reach. So it helps your paid efforts. The organic social really does help your paid efforts. And often it's just mathematics. E-commerce often is just mathematics. If you are worried that you are not getting a sale, you didn't get a sale today. I haven't got a sale yet today. It's 10 to 8 p.m. And I'm like, oh, I haven't got a sale today. If I actually look at my website, I've only had 80 visitors to my website today. And an e-commerce statistic average is like 1%, which basically means I need 100 people on my website today to reasonably expect one sale. My conversion rate is slightly higher, so I probably need, 80 people to my website to get one sale might be my more average. Either way, it is just mathematics, and it's the same with social media. It just becomes a volume thing, that the more you put out, the bigger that audience does become. And it will push more people to your website. It will increase your reach. It's just whether you decide you want to do that purely on an organic basis, or you want to boost that and help yourself out with some cash and advertising, which I 100% would do. I'm far too old to be just growing with organic social. There's no way I'll spend money all the time on social media to push my brand out there. I have not got the energy for just organic social. But you can do whichever way you like. You could just do all paid, you could do a mixture, or you could just do organic. It's entirely up to you. Plus, I go live on Facebook as well for the Turtle Journal. I do a live Facebook every Tuesday morning. I've only been doing that for about, how many have I done now? I'm not sure. 10, 11 weeks maybe, so not very long. But I think as well, this gives me, going live every week also gives me great content for organic socials. It gives me a reason to post the day after and say, hey, did you see my live? Gives me a reason to send an email to say, hey, did you see my live? It also gives me a reason to interact with my customers because they comment on the live to say hello days later. So I go back and always reply and say hi back. So I think it also helps push my live events out more as well by posting organically. And the opposite is true. By going live once a week, then it probably helps push my other posts throughout the week also push further as well. It literally all rolls up together in like kind of one big ball of wool that rolls round and around and gets bigger and bigger. So why do you post on social media, or why don't you post on social media? It's important for us to ask ourselves this as well. Do you have a strategy? Do you feel like it's worthwhile? Do you feel like it's necessary? Is there ways you can think about this in a different way that means you're taking control of social media for yourself and not feeling like you're at the mercy of social media? And like I said before, is there ways you can think about it literally as a testing ground just to get yourself some good data of maybe think to yourself, okay, I'll spend $20 next month on a post. I'll boost one post next month. Which one will I boost? Well, I'll post lots organically and literally use it as an experiment. I think you'll find you feel like you have far more control over that for yourself and not feel like you're at the mercy of the platforms by using it as a testing ground and as a bit of an experiment for yourself. So I had a look at my last insights for 90 days and I thought I'd share with you my top 10 organic posts in the last 90 days from my two websites. I thought maybe you'd find that interesting. And you know what? It's probably going to be really common sense to you as well, that validates or makes you, hopefully encourages you that there's really not a lot of magic to this. It's pretty simple. It comes down to consistency. And often it just comes down to consistency, but there's nothing special about it. So I'll tell you my top 10 posts for each of my websites, like my top performing, I should say, my top performing, when I look at my insights for 90 days, I looked at reach and I looked at comments and reactions and shares and pulled together the top 10 from each website. And they're all organic posts. So I left out my paid content in this summary so that you've just got what I've done organically. They help give you some ideas of things that you could do on social media organically too. And yeah, spoiler alert, none of these are going to be a surprise to you. You've probably done all of these before, but it's encouraging to know, like I said, there's just no magic about it. It just becomes something we do, and we overthink it probably far more than any of our customers do. So just go ahead and post anything, like whatever it is you're thinking about. Don't spend too long on it. Don't agonize over it. Just chuck it out there, then duplicate it, put it again in 3 months' time, or send it as an email or whatever you want to do. Just make sure you use it more than once, pretty much. Then you'll feel like it's probably worthwhile. So number one of my websites, the first top performing post was a behind the scenes video. It's a 45-second video that I put together and I edited together and I sped it up of me packing some products. This video did take me a little while to create. This was a couple of hours of work, and this is my top performing one. So you can see obviously the work paid off in me creating this video, and I actually boosted it about a month ago. I put some money behind this post, and it might still be running. I'll have to have a look. I put it inside a proper ad campaign because it did so well. So it became one of my pillar bits of content that I have used heaps since. So at the time it was a couple of hours work to do snippets of videos, put it together as an edited video of me packing some products together, sped up. That was a lot of work, and at the time I thought, this is so much work for one post, what a waste. But thinking about it from the sense of a testing ground and deciding whether it was worth me using as paid content moving forward, then it was totally worth my time, because I have run that ad now for quite a while, and it's got me great results on social media. So that was worth it for sure. That's been my best performing organic post in the last 90 days. My second best was pack and order with me, which I love doing these videos. 45 seconds, that's all I was doing. A video of me saying, hey, this is what Susan ordered. Thank you for your order, Susan. This is Susan's second order. She lives in Queensland. This is what she got, blah, 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 blah. 45 seconds, and the caption has a call to action to shop now at the end of it. That was my second best performing. My third was a photo of something I created. So a craft creation that I created. It's just a photo with a caption of something I had created that day. And my next one was another pack and order with me video. So another 45-second video. This one was for Karen. It was like pack and order for Karen, and this is what she's got. This is her second order or her first order. She lives in WA or Tassie or whatever the case may be. Again, call to action I put on the caption there was to shop now. The next one was a close-up of a product. So it was a product video close-up. I just did a very short 15-second video showing a particular product close-up. And the caption said new product, and I talked a bit about the new product with a call to action to shop now. The next best performing was another new product video. This time it was me holding the new product up to the camera and talking about it. Again, this video went for less than a minute. I remember filming it. I probably did 2 takes. It was pretty easy to do. You just chat. It's not hard. It's just organic social. Remember, people expect that. It's nothing. It's need to be super polished at all. So it was a new product. I showed up close. I said, hey, grab this, it's brand new. You can check it out now on the website. And there was the link in the caption to shop. Remember, these are my best performing too, don't forget. These are really salesy. Just remember that. If you're in e-commerce, we probably don't talk about our products enough or sell them enough. A lot of these so far are salesy content, and they have performed my best, which is really interesting and so worth keeping in mind. It's been really confirmational for me just to make this list. I thought, wow, out of these 10 examples, I think 7 of them have a call to action to shop now. That's crazy. So that's your sign to go be more salesy in your social media, because people love it, that's what they expect. You're selling things. They, expect you to sell things to them. That's what you do. You're a shop. They've got money to spend end of the day. The next one was actually a customer review. I did an image in Canva and I put the quote from the customer inside the image, did a little branded tile to say thank you for the lovely feedback they sent me. So that was my 7th best performing organic content in the last 3 months. That was really interesting when I saw that. I thought, maybe I should boost that. Maybe I should chuck $20 behind that. I'm not sure. I'll think about it. The next one was an image of a product up close, again with a caption just with lots of emojis about it. So lots of emojis that suited the picture of the product, just to make it super cute looking and inviting, to say how cute this was. It wasn't a new product at all. Just wanted to put it in a social media post and a call to action to shop. And that's my 8th best performing in 90 days. And, you know, I haven't just had 10 social media posts in 90 days. On average, on one of my websites, I post twice a day. So in 90 days, oh my goodness, I don't even like to think about that. 90 days. Oh my goodness, that's like 180 posts. Oh my goodness, that makes me feel sick. So that's a lot of posts though, to be able to pull out the top 10. It's not a small set of data to work with. So yeah, so that post did really well. My next one with the 20-second video just of me literally with my phone panning over. I opened the box and showed them, you know, on camera for 20 seconds. That was it. I put it on social media with a caption saying, hey, look what arrived in the mail today, some new samples. And my last best performing one was a video of me talking to the camera. So I'm looking at the camera and letting people know about my latest Facebook Live is up, you know, so you can watch the replay, and it was all about a specific topic. So check out the replay here. So that was my top 10, which is interesting. Like I said, lots of them were salesy, which was interesting. So there you go. Be more salesy in your social media. And when I look at that now, I probably could pull more content now from my Facebook group and put it on my page. I created a Facebook group in April, and I haven't actually gone into that group and asked people and you know, asked them if I can put their content out on the page. I'm sure they'll say yes. People love that. They always say yes. I've rarely had anybody say no. I did have a customer just block out some private information on a photo she sent me, which was great. And then she sent it to me like edited, so she was comfortable with it. And I use that on social media. And then I also used it in an email as well. Like, you've got to leverage your stuff, guys. If you're going to put this work in at all, make it worth your while. So if you're going to put it on social media once, like I said, do it 2 or 3 times at different times of the day, and then put it in an email as well. Make a blog post out of it if you want to. Just use it as many ways as you can. It will feel like you're getting value out of it. So my other website, this is going to be very similar. Like I said, none of this is probably going to be hugely surprising to you, which is great because this is actually easier than we think it is. It's just can be very overwhelming. So I just encourage you to take control back of social media and make it work for you, so that you feel like it actually supports your business and you're not the one at the mercy of the platforms. So my second website, my top performing post in 90 days. Now, I don't post on this second website twice a day. I certainly do not. I can't even manage once a day sometimes. I have some serious work I need to do with social media on this website. I probably manage 5 days out of 7. Well, if I average it out and I think about the times I've forgotten, maybe 4. I probably average 4 days out of 7, so not a lot. As far as organic social goes, that's really not great. It doesn't get me a whole lot of great data. It doesn't build my audience a lot, but I also do pay more. Instead, I'm happy to pay for more content and more advertising with this website because I'm just not as familiar with the niche as I am with my other website. So I'm happy to pay to boost more content and to use more content and pay for it rather than leaning or relying on organic so much. My best performing was actually a customer question. This is really interesting. A customer emailed a question to me about a specific part of crafting. So I said, hey, let me check with the followers. How about we put something on social media and see what the followers have to say? And she thought that was a great idea. So I made a branded tile in Canva with their question as the copy in the middle of the design, and I asked followers to help out and to respond. That was my top performing post organic in 90 days. It's really cool. I was surprised because I hadn't looked at these insights as far as the top performing content on this website for a while, and that was the top performing one in 90 days. So I haven't posted every day. I don't usually post twice a day. So maybe out of those 90 days, some days there was 2 posts. Out of 90 days, there might be 80 posts. So let's say out of 80 posts, this was the top performing. So that was really cool. So it was literally a customer question they had sent on email. And I suggested we ask the followers, and they thought that was great. So I put it on social media with a cute little tile, and lots of people interacted and helped out. It was really cool. Number 2 was a video. I was chatting about crafting, how many years I've been doing it, what I love about it. That was a bit of a lengthy video, like 90 seconds. The call to action was actually to shop in that video. That was the second best performing. Next one was a photo of me crafting, and I had a tip. So in the copy, I did a series, a bit like the series I talked about before with ChatGTP. This series was the beginner tips. I think I did talk to you about this. So I asked ChatGTP for 10 beginner tips. This was tip number 6. And this was the third best performing in 90 days of content. It's really cool. It was a photo of me with a project, and the tip was just in the copy. The call to action again was to shop. Again, to shop. Like, it's just, we have to remember, guys, we are in e-commerce. We have shops. That's what we need to talk to people about. The next best performing was a follower sent in a photo of their latest project. So I created a branded tile from their project and featured their work on social media. People loved that, because then the fifth and the sixth best performing were the same. So 3 out of the 10 were customers and their work, the work they've been doing, what they've been up to, a project they're working on, with a cute little part of the caption was maybe what they had put in an email or what they had written on social media elsewhere about the latest project they're doing. One of the next best performing was, again, another beginner tip from that series. The next best performing was a thank you post. I did a photo in Canva. I edited the photo. I added fireworks to it. I did a giant thank you banner over the top. I said thank you for 1,000 orders, and that was my 7th best performing, I think, or 8th. I'm losing track. That was one of my best performing posts organically, just saying thank you to all my customers. The next one was an order again. I packed an order for a customer from this website, but I did 2 customers in the one video. I did that because they ordered the identical things. It was really funny. I didn't know if they were related. It was just cute. I just thought, I can't believe these people have ordered the exact same thing. So I put them in a video together and did a pack and order with me of these 2 customers in one video. So that was a bit cute. So that did really well. And then the last one was a product feature. So I did a product feature, just a photo of a product with some copy about the product and a call to action to shop. So when I look at this website, immediately what stands out to me is I haven't been salesy enough. I think out of the posts, out of the 10, I only had 4 that had call to actions to shop. 3. Oh, only 3. That's really not great. Only 3 had call to actions to shop. I need to do far more of that, because the other website I had like 7, which was far better. So that's what I would take away from this, is something I need to improve. That would probably help my sales as well, and people just for me to be more top of mind for them. So I did a video. I opened a box from the mailman with some stock that arrived. Showed up on the doorstep, some new stock, and there was a box, and I did a video. It was, I don't know, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, not long. Literally saying, hey, this arrived today, some new stock we sold out not long ago, it's restocked now. You know, if you didn't get to secure yours beforehand, take the opportunity today and grab yourself a set of these while I have the stock that just showed up. So it was like 30 seconds, this video. I actually filmed it in square because a square mode rather than 9:16 or anything. I just didn't want, I'm not interested in resizing stuff. I'm just not, if I don't have to. That seems like a stupidly crazy waste of time for organic social media. If this did really well, I would go back and I could redo a bit of content like this and make it into a proper ad and take the time to resize it. But it's organic social. I'm not spending time resizing stuff. So I did it in square format. The caption was something similar to what I'd said in the video, and I used ChatGPT just to help me out with the caption because it adds some cute emojis, so that was cool. And I added a call to action to shop now because there was some new products. I just restocked them. They'd sold out and now they're back. So if you want to grab some, you guys should shop. So this is one video. I then also took a photo of the box open with the product inside too. So I have one video and I have one photo. That's what I've got. First thing I did was post a video on social media. I scheduled it on Facebook and Instagram. Immediately, like I said, I duplicated it and I put it out again for about another 6 to 8 weeks at the opposite time of the day. So if I scheduled it at 7 p.m, then the next time I scheduled it was 7 a.m. Yeah, honestly, it's no big deal. People read half the things you put out, not half the things you put on social media, but they're not reading anything in great detail. I edited the copy slightly to say, I recently restocked this product. Check it out. Did you see it when I restocked it? This makes a great gift, blah, 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 blah. So I just altered the copy slightly so it wasn't copy like this just arrived today, it's restocked because it just sold out. If you've been waiting, here it is. That was my first video. The next time though, I put the video on social media, I just changed the copy or the caption slightly. I didn't reshoot the video, it's the same video, and just said, hey, I recently restocked this product. Did you get to see it? Did you grab one? This makes a great gift, blah, 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 blah. I'm still using the same content. I'm just changing the caption slightly. I then also wrote an email, and this time I used the photo. So I've used the video twice now, and now I've written an email to my customers, to my newsletter list, and I've used the photo. of the products that arrived in the box, I used the exact same copy from the first time in the email because I wanted a call to action of this is just restocked, go shop now. I duplicated the email. I sent it again the very next day. Trust me, this is so worth it because you're reminding people, hey, did you see this? Remember, it's restocked. Did you mean to get some? Here it is if you want to shop now. So 2 emails now I've done. Now I check on social media and I see how well it performed. Did it perform really well? I've been happy with the reach. I've been happy with the comments and the interactions, the likes and the shares. This is where I could go back. So at this point, this is probably as far as I got the first time. But now what I could do is actually go back to this content that's already published and see how well it performed and decide I might spend $25 over 2 weeks and boost this same post, this video on social media and get some more juice out of it. And then I would also, which I haven't done, which I should go back and do now I'm talking about it, I'll go back and schedule all of these socials and all these emails all over again because the stock is low now. Do you know, like now it's been a few weeks, this stock is low. I can go back, I'll reuse it again and say, hey, selling fast. I'm going to edit this video. I'll put it inside Canva. I'll chuck a text element over the top that says selling fast, nearly sold out, something like that. Basically then with a different caption that is, this is running low, it's nearly out of stock again. If you missed out last time, don't miss out this time. So I'm using the same video, but I'm editing it slightly this time to get some juice and use it again. Edited with selling out fast and use it in 2 emails again. So that's how I've stretched it further by going back and editing it slightly because it's selling out fast. And now I want customers to know, hey, did you mean to grab this? Did you know it's now selling quickly? Because I restocked it a little while ago. I've nearly run out again, so you should probably grab yours if you wanted one. I only had 1 video and 1 photo. Remember, that's all I spent the time doing. The work comes in all of this leveraging. This is where you need to get the juice out of everything you have done and push it as far as you can. So this is the work in the background, but it's work that really feels like I'm getting somewhere. When I look at all this content, up to 9 times I got to use this content, and a few of those times were totally money in the bank because they were emails. And people maybe saw it on social media and then they got an email the next day, or they got an email from me and then they happened to see the organic post. They got an email from me and then they saw the boosted post. All of these things work together, and this was great for sales. Like, it absolutely drove sales, and I can see that from my email metrics through Klaviyo. So that's what I was able to do. I got 9 bits of content out of creating the 1 short video and the 1 photo. I hope that's helpful. That was a lot of talking and a lot of information and a lot of stuff you probably already know. And I hope it just feels like it can be easier. It doesn't have to be overwhelming, and encourages you that we are all in this like social media crazy struggle bus and struggle land, and that there are ways of being smarter probably with social media, more so in our mindset to feel like it actually is working for us and we are using it as a tool for our business to grow our business, not that we are at the mercy of the platform and need to like constantly feed the machine, which is an exhausting feeling and a horrible feeling. I'm not interested in feeling that way at all about social media. I would honestly rather park it and just pay to push out some posts, you know, with advertising for a month and take a month off. I've done that before and I'll do it again and give myself a break. But if you're in the mindset but you're keen to get on top of it and get ahead, then I hope this has given you some ideas of ways that maybe you can literally use what you've already done, go back and reuse it all over again and push it further, use it in more ways. But also that you can post anything. You can use anything for content, and people will be happy to see anything on social media. And then you can go back and look at your analytics and decide for yourself if you think some of those are then worth putting money behind, and really pushing that further then by getting far more reach with content you know is good quality, that your customers really love, that represents your brand in a really great way. So thanks for joining me today. I hope my Diary Style podcast has been a bit of an encouragement for you if we spent this time together. Head to my website, send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. You can find me at aussieecommercemum.com.au. I'll see you next time. Keep learning.